Hello, Shogi people. I'm back here for, well, it's been a long time since I last posted one of these videos, but I did mention in my last one that I wanted to do this unusually long mini Shogi game between Diamante and Takodori. So Diamante from Spain and Takodori from Japan. Um, Unusual game, 71 moves I think, which is really long for mini Shogi. But these are two of the best players that play on Little Golem. Um, Takodori more commonly plays, I don't know if he even plays the mini Shogi anymore, but he's really good at the standard 9x9 Shogi. Um, so I'm going to go through this game. A lot of the moves, they're very subtle. I don't claim to understand why they do some of their moves, but we'll go through the game. Just wanted to show you first, the interesting thing about mini shogi is that because it's such a small board, say for instance, any position like this where there's a silver in the middle or it could be a gold in the middle, and this player has got a gold drop, it's always, and it's their go, it's always going to be a checkmate unless there's something able to take it. So you can see here, gold drop there, it's protected by the silver, so king can't take it. It's checkmate there, and can't move there, checkmate, can't move there, checkmate. So that's how quickly a game of mini shogi can end. Checkmate, checkmate, checkmate. Can end if you've got a silver in the middle and a gold drop and the king on the last rank there. So because it's a small board, games can end very quickly if you're not careful. So anyway, I'll set up these pieces. So Diamante is going to be down the bottom and Takodori up the top. I think I've got everything in frame. There's my rook. Gold, silver, bishop, rook, and the pawns. And we'll get straight into it. So first move, Diamante, pretty standard move, silver to there. And I'm just clicking through the game on my computer. Takodori, silver to there. Diamante, gold there. Pretty standard so far. And Takodori, bishop there. And so straight away it gets a little bit interesting. So Diamante goes there, encouraging an exchange. So it'll be bishop, bishop. So let's see what happens. Yep, Takodori takes gold. And then I would say, yep, Diamante takes bishop. Okay, let's see how Takodori responds to that. Okay, he's going to drop his gold straight away and he's going to drop it there. That is, it's attacking the bishop. And okay, so not that he always does he always does these moves a little bit different to what I would do. So he's going to drop his bishop up here. So he's pretty much putting pressure on this rook, and if Takodori takes that bishop, he'll take the rook, I would imagine, or he could come down and take this. Let's see what happens. So Takodori responds. He does take the bishop. Oops, putting it wrong side. And like I said, Diamante's got option of going up there, taking the rook and promoting that bishop to a dragon horse, which combines the moves of a bishop and a king. Or he can come back down here, and if he comes down here, he's also, I know I would go there. Let's see what happens. Yep, takes the rook and promotes to a dragon horse. Now, what will Takodori do here? He could drop bishop for check there, but definitely not checkmate. Well, let's see what he does. Okay, he drops here for check, and that can be taken by the silver. Let's see what happens. Or, of course, sorry, this one here could come down. So he chooses to come down with his promoted dragon horse. So he's going to lose that. Will the silver come up or the gold come across? Let's see. So silver comes up. Now, what would I do here? So really this is one move away from checkmate. So that would be checkmate, or that would be checkmate. So this square is important at the moment. So he's either got to drop there or cover that square. So let's see what Diamante does. Okay, so it's a good move. He takes this, he takes the silver, but at the same time, well, he's taken away the mate threat easily, and Takodori would have to take this, which he does. But it's always nice to have this central spot here, which Takodori now has, and he's one move away from checkmate again. But obviously, Diamante is not going to allow that, so he's either going to drop here or cover this square. Let's see what he does. Yeah, he drops his bishop here, so that is protecting that square now against a drop for checkmate. And what will Takodori do? He drops bishop here. So in mini shogi, with the way the board's set up with this diagonally opposite setup with the kings over in the corners, the bishops can have quite an influence because they're attacking. So that, you know, that would reveal check there. Okay, how will Diamante respond to this? Okay, so he now drops here, seeing the threat. But remember, he's still got this bishop also covering this. If he didn't have that there, that would be checkmate. Okay, so he knows what he's doing. And Takodori, he does there, check. And this, well, yeah, the bishop has to come down because obviously the king can't take that, he'll lose the game. So, yeah, bishop comes down. So, we've got the two bishops attacking each other. So at the moment, this bishop is pinned by Takodori's bishop. And let's see what he does. Okay, he drops a silver right in that important central square. And Diamante, okay, he plays here. So it's a good move. He's protecting this square again. He's attacking the silver, although it is covered by the bishop. So what would Takodori do here? Would he bother checking him again? I don't know. Let's see. He does. Okay. Check again. And Diamante is going to have to take that with the gold, which he does. Now this gold is pinned by that bishop. So it's early stages, but this is looking okay for Takodori. How well, I'd say, well, let's see. I'd say Diamante is probably gonna get some more defense going around here. Let's see what happens. Oh no, sorry. It's Takodori's move. Okay, so he makes a good move here. Oh wait a sec, I've done something wrong. I've just got to step back a few moves. What have I done wrong? So I put, what have I done? So that's right. He's come back here. Oh no, that's all right. Okay, so Diamante came back here, and then, okay, yep. So this is a good move. Takodori drops here, attacking there for a potential checkmate again, but this is pinned, so this gold general cannot take his silver general. So Diamante is going to have to do something to defend this square again. And what does he do? He puts a silver there to back up this square. Now, Takodori checks him again. So this has been a lot of checks already. Checks him again, and this silver is going to have to take it. So Diamante exchanges. So he's got a silver and a rook in hand, gold and bishop in hand. Now the silver is pinned by this bishop. Okay, so Takodori, what shall he do? Okay, so he decides to attack this rook. I usually, when that sort of thing happens to me, I usually go like that to attack that to sort of make it go away, but let's just see what... He moves it right across. Okay, so he again is supporting this square. So this is where you learn from these really good players. Don't do the obvious, that one. This one's more important because this square is vital at the moment because this is pinned. And what would Takodori do now? Let's have a look. Would he drop again? No, let's see. Okay, so he drops his gold here, which is, it's forking these two pieces, isn't it? So it's attacking the rook and the silver. What? Although, there's no threat of a checkmate because that square's covered. This square, then the king will take it. So let's see what Diamante does. Okay. So it is nice to get this rook up on here. It's always, when you're defending and the other player gets their rook along this last rank, can cause all sorts of problems. But I can see what he's doing. He's got this in a threatening position, it's well defended at the moment, but he's put another piece. He's got 2 rooks defending this square now. So how will Takodori respond? Okay, checks him again. Gold check there. Now, so obviously Diamante is either going to take the gold with this rook or that rook. If he brings this one back down, it's going to be a promoted dragon king, so the combining the moves of a rook and a king. Or does he want to leave that up there, because that's always nice to have that sort of threat at the back? Let's see what happens. Okay, he takes it with this rook. Takes the gold. This rook is now pinned, and this bishop's been pinning whatever piece has been there for a long time, but he has got this piece, this other rook, backing up that square as well. Let's see what Takodori does next. Okay, so he drops up here to put pressure on this rook up here. Okay, and then let's see. So, I mean, I'm thinking I would probably go there, and then it's promoted. But then again, it's not covering that square, so he probably won't do that. Oh, and yeah, no, that would be a stupid move, because this bishop would take him. So let's see what he does. Okay, he drops gold here, putting pressure on this bishop. Okay, so let's see what, I mean, Takodori could come here and get that promoted, but it's sort of out of the action, but we'll see what happens. Oh, okay, so by doing this move, Diamante is pretty much saying you can take my rook, but I'll take your bishop. So that must be what he's thinking. So that's what happens. Takodori takes his rook, and then Diamante takes his bishop. Now, this is still pinned. Wonder what. Let's see what Takodori does here. I mean, he does look like he's been checking Diamante a lot, but Diamante is playing a really good defense, and he just doesn't fall for anything. Diamante. Neither of these two guys do. They really look, many moves ahead. So, okay, now Takodori has dropped the rook back here, which is what I like to do, and he's got a check going here. So this is, if I was in this situation, I'd prefer to be Takodori than Diamante, and Diamante is going to have to drop. You can't move the king from this, so he's going to have to drop. Let's see what he drops and where he drops. Okay, he drops bishop here. Why has he dropped it there? I mean, it can't. I mean, if he takes it, he gets it with the gold. But yeah, okay. So he's dropped it there, and I'm not exactly sure why he hasn't dropped it here or wherever. Anyway, he's dropped it here. Let's see how Takodori responds. Okay, he's just going to move this up closer to his king and his other pieces. And Diamante drops here. Okay. Well, actually, I can see now. I'm sort of a bit slow on the uptake. So by doing this, the rook's really got nowhere to go. It's trapped. It gets taken there, it gets taken there. So I see now why that was a good move, to really nullify this rook being down there. Now this is sort of, you know, a bit stalemate again. We've got all these pieces with all this empty, and it's probably, these are the sort of moves now that are really critical, I think. So let's see what Takodori does. Righto, so he's going to exchange. He's going to lose this rook, so he's promoting it to Dragon King, but it's going to be taken. And so next move is gold's going to take it, and then the bishop's going to take that, I would say. Let's see what happens. Yep, gold takes rook, and then, oh, actually it doesn't have to be bishop, it could be the pawn taking it. The pawn takes gold. Okay, so now it is Diamante's go. He could get this up on this last rank again. That's probably what I would do. And he does. He can't put it here this time because of that silver, so he puts it right over here. And how will Takodori respond to that? Let's have a look. Okay, so these are the sort of more interesting moves in a way. He drops gold here. Now let me just contemplate what's going on here, because I must be missing something here, but that gold's unprotected. Oh no, silly me. This is pinned. Yeah, this is pinned by the bishop. So I was thinking, why can't he just take that? It's pinned. Okay, so he knows what he's doing, obviously. So he's put the gold there. Okay, let's see what happens next. Okay, so Diamante has decided he's going to get rid of this pin that's been going on for a lot of the game by moving his king there. But I can see what he's thinking. That's free now, so that is genuinely attacking that unprotected gold general. Righto, how will Takodori respond to this? Oh, okay, so, oh, of course, I didn't see that. Yeah, he can just take it with his bishop. Now, Diamante's not in check. This gold is pinned, but that's protecting that square. He hasn't got any drops at the moment. Interesting what he'll do here. Let's see. Oh, of course. He just, yeah. I'm not thinking clearly at the moment of the exchanges. So he takes the bishop with the king, and let's see, Takodori drops a rook here. Is it sort of attacking that, but that is covered. What's he planning? Yeah, see, that's a move that I'm not sure what's going on, but you know, it's not under attack, and it's sort of putting pressure there, but it can be taken. It'll be an exchange. So let's see what Diamante does. Okay, he's going to bring his king back here, get it a bit safer. And Takodori, he does come down and take this bishop, and he promotes to a Dragon King. But he's obviously going to get taken, so the question is whether the king will take it or the silver general. And it's he decides to take it with the king. Now these guys, those decisions, they're thinking well ahead why they do that. So, righto, what's Takodori got here? He's got a bishop drop. He could check there, but he can easily get away. What else has he got? It's one of those moves, I don't know what he'll do. Let's see what he does. Okay. So he drops here. I suppose it's covering that big central diagonal, and when it moves it will promote. So that's interesting. Okay, let's see how this plays out. We're getting to the pointy end of the game. Diamante drops bishop here. Now this move I can understand a bit better. That's attacking the undefended gold and the pawn. So it's a fork sort of attack there. So yeah, I can understand that move. Let's see how Takodori responds. Okay, so yeah, he's seen that threat. So he comes here because this was unprotected, so he's come here where it is protected. But that doesn't stop this threat, although it is only a pawn. Now, will Diamante take that now? Let's see. I think he would. No, he doesn't. Well, it's only going to be an exchange, but wait a sec. He takes that. He would get the better of that exchange. He would get gold. Takodori would get a bishop, and then he would get silver, wouldn't he? So he'd get 2-1 there, I think, and then he'd have that silver sitting in that really nice spot there. If I'm looking at this right, but what he does, he sweeps across and checks with the rook. He doesn't even bother to promote it because he knows it's going to go. So will the king take it or the silver? Well, it would have to be the king, because if he takes it with the silver, this is unprotected again. Let's see. Yeah, the king takes rook. Right. Now, let's see what Diamante does. Oh, okay. So he's going to check him back here again. So it's going to force him to drop or move the king down. He's only got a rook to drop. And yeah, he does it. So Takodori drops his rook there, which pretty much is going to be an exchange of rooks. Let's see. Yep. And then he'll have to take that with Takodori. Will have to take that with his king, which he does. Right, this is getting interesting. So, Diamante, what's he going to do here? He's got these two pretty powerful drops, but he's got no way to connect them to any of these pieces with a drop. He could check here or here again with the rook. Let's see. Okay, yeah, of course. So now's the time to take this pawn. But look at this, he's taking it and he's checking the king at the same time. He's up a piece, even though it's only a pawn, but it still is up a piece. And the game's sort of, I think, swayed towards him now. So Takodori's either going to run or drop, or yeah, he can't move either of these pieces in the way. So let's see what he does. He drops rook there. So if he ran, anyway, he's dropped the rook there. So I would have, oh wait, oh yeah, he's dropped the rook there. And Diamante will probably take that. Let's see. Yep, he takes the rook. And now this is really, when you look at these powerful drops, 2 rooks, gold, pawn, 4 drops there. There's probably enough there, if you think it out carefully, you know, to end the game with a sequence of moves. So this is not looking good at all. Takodori, his king's going to have to run now. Let's see where he goes. Oh no, sorry. God, I'm just not seeing the obvious today. Of course he can take the bishop. So let's just do a piece count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So a piece up with the pawn. Diamante is. And yeah, this is not looking good. So he's, I just think with this amount of drops, it's going to be really hard. I think it's probably very hard for Takodori to get out of this. So it is Diamante's turn. Let's see what he does. Okay, he's gonna sacrifice this gold, but he knows what he's doing. You don't, like early in the game, if you go down a piece to one of these guys, and I've done it before, it's all over. You just barely got a chance of, you know, lasting too long at all if you're down. Sometimes if it's just a pawn that you're down, that's a bit different, but if you go down a piece early in the game, because there's only 6 pieces per side and they've got 7, you've got 5, really against these good players you're going to lose. But he knows what he's doing. He wants this king out here. So after, let's see, he will take that, I'm sure. Yeah, Takodori